Hi everyone, this is Claire at the Allentown Art Museum and it's Textile Tuesday. This week we're featuring some works from our American galleries that are part of the current rotation on view. Since textiles and works on paper are sensitive to light, we have to change them out on a regular basis so that they don't sustain damage from the lighting. And so that means that you get to see an exciting new array of works in the next month or so, but also that we're saying goodbye to some really cool stuff. So we wanted to feature a couple of them before they come down on August 20th. So these drawings right here are by William Geskies, and they're really compelling. We've noticed that visitors are really drawn to them. They have great colors, this kind of bizarre and interesting mix of organic shapes and geometry and abstraction, sort of evoking sea creatures or structure of cells, and very jewel-like with the dark backgrounds. And so it may surprise you to find out that these actually weren't considered art in the sense of fine art in their day. So Geskies, the artist who made these, was a silk designer. And this was a role that was largely anonymous in the early part of the 20th century. Designers, it still wasn't standard for designers to be credited or to be marketed as part of the advertising, trying to get consumers excited about products. And so the fact that his work has survived, and that the museum actually has over 500 of these drawings by Geskies that his family saved, is really remarkable, because it's an era where we just don't have a lot of material traces of the people who did this kind of work every day. So Geskies was born in 1877 in Krefeld, Germany, which was a silk weaving center, and he likely received specialized training and apprenticed there to learn how to do this kind of textile design. In 1895, when he was 18, he immigrated to Paterson, New Jersey with his father. Paterson was the center of the silk industry in the United States at that point, and drew a lot of skilled European immigrants who specialized in working with silk. And so Geskies specialized in designing jacquard textiles, and that's a process of weaving textiles, really complex designs that are actually incorporated into the structure of the fabric through the way the threads are woven, that uses punch cards, which are read by a loom, and it tells the loom which threads to pick up. And almost, if you think about it like pixels on a computer, that's how it makes up these individual threads that then create this very elaborate design. And we know that European-trained jacquard designers were very sought after and more highly regarded, because this was such a specialized area of work to be able to design and have an understanding of how these fabrics were structured. And also, in some cases, the designers would also be translating their designs from images like these into a diagram on graph paper that could then be used to program the loom to weave these designs. And so we know that Geskies, some of the companies that he worked with were making silks for clothing and also for neckties. And in fact, one industry expert at that time said that futuristic and cubistic effects were favored in 1925. And you get a sense of that kind of modern, angular feeling, and this idea of taking apart different views. For instance, with these flowers, all of the geometry in there, it has some of that feeling of cubism and of modern art. And while we're thinking about textiles and design in this early 20th century context, I also just wanted to mention briefly the neighboring textile, which was woven by Maria Kipp. And her career has some parallels to that of William Geskies, but takes a very different path. She was born in 1900, also in Germany. She trained there, attending design schools and receiving specialized training in textile weaving. But rather than going into industry, commercial production like Geski's does, instead she sets up her own business and creates these hand-woven textiles, and then later moves to LA and starts her own weaving and industrial design business there. So it's just very interesting to think about these two designers, having them side by side in this space, both of them immigrants from Germany and working in a similar era. Kip is a little younger than Geski's, but just the different paths that they took and, you know, kind of how this all ties into a story of American art and design. So make sure to stop by if you're around before August 20th to see these on view before our next rotation comes up. And please leave any questions or comments below. Thanks.